Have you ever been in a conversation where someone starts talking about cars, throwing around words like horsepower, turbocharged engine, or drivetrain, and you just nod along pretending to get it? You're not alone. Cars come with their own language, and if you don't speak it, things can get confusing fast. But today, you're going to learn the basics in a way that's simple, clear, and actually makes sense. By the end, you'll know exactly what those terms mean, and you'll never feel like a noob between your friends again. Let's start with the engine, since that's the first thing people mention when describing a car. First up, cc, or liters. When you hear someone say, this car has a 2.0 liter engine, they're describing the size of the engine. That 2.0 liters means the engine's cylinders can hold a total of 2 liters of air and fuel during combustion. Think of it like Coke bottle. A 1.0 liter engine is like a 1 liter bottle. A 2.0 liter engine is a big size. The bigger number usually means more potential power, but it's not the whole story. Engines also come in different layouts. A 4-cylinder inline engine is common in smaller cars. Efficient, reliable, and lightweight. A V6 or V8 engine has cylinders arranged in a V shape, usually found in larger trucks and performance cars. More cylinders generally mean smoother operation and more power, but they can also mean more fuel consumption. Then there's horsepower. It sounds dramatic, but really, it's just a measure of how fast an engine can work. Imagine horses pulling your car. 1 horsepower equals 1 horse. So if your car has 150 horsepower, that's like having 150 horses pulling your car. More horsepower usually means faster acceleration and higher top speed. But there's another important number, torque. If horsepower is about speed, torque is about strength. It's the twisting force that gets the wheels turning. Trucks need lots of torque to pull trailers. Sports cars need torque for explosive launches. Everyday cars balance both, so you get decent acceleration without guzzling fuel. Now, here's something modern cars rely on heavily: turbocharging. A turbocharger uses exhaust gases to spin a turbine, which pushes extra air into the engine. More air means more fuel can burn, which equals more power. This allows smaller engines to perform like larger ones without using as much gas. That's why today, even small 4-cylinder engines can rival older V6s and V8s. Then there's RPM, revolutions per minute. This is how fast the engine's crankshaft is spinning. The higher the RPM, the harder the engine is working. Revving to high RPMs produces more power, but it also burns more fuel and stresses the engine. That's why cars have red lines. A push beyond it and you risk serious damage. Now, having power is one thing, but delivering that power to the wheels, that's where the magic really happens. And for that, we need to understand transmissions. There are 2 main types of transmissions: manual and automatic. In a manual car, the driver uses a clutch pedal and gear stick to change gears. This gives more control and a strong connection to the car, but takes practice. In an automatic, the car shifts gears on its own, making driving much easier, especially in traffic. But modern automatics aren't all the same. There are traditional automatics which use a torquey converter to change gears smoothly. There are CVTs, or continuously variable transmissions, which don't have gears at all. Instead, they adjust seamlessly like a sliding scale. And then there are dual clutch transmissions, or DCTs, which shift lightning fast and are often used in sports cars. So when you hear car ads bragging about a DCT or CVT, now you'll actually know what they're talking about. The transmission decides how power is delivered, but the drivetrain decides where that power goes. You've probably heard people throw around terms like FWD, RWD, AWD, or 4WD. Let's make those simple. FWD, front wheel drive. This means the engine sends power to the front wheels only. It's the most common setup in everyday cars because it's cheap to build, fuel efficient, and easy to handle. The downside? When you push hard, you might feel the steering wheel pull or jerk. That's called torque steer. RWD, rear wheel drive. Instead of pulling the car from the front, it pushes from the back. This gives better balance and handling, which is why sports cars and performance sedans love it. But in rain or snow, traction can be tricky because the weight isn't over the rear wheels. A WD, all-wheel drive. Think of this as smart traction. It can send power to all 4 wheels automatically when the car senses slipping. That's why SUVs and some performance cars use AWD. It adds grip in bad weather and confidence when accelerating. The trade-off, it's heavier and uses more fuel. 4-wheel drive. This is the heavy-duty system designed for off-roading and tough terrain. Unlike AWD, which is always adjusting, 4WD locks power to all 4 wheels equally. That's what makes trucks and Jeeps so good at climbing rocks, mud, or steep trails. But power and traction don't mean much if you can't can't stop safely. That's where braking comes in. Let's start with ABS, anti-lock braking system. Ever slam the brakes and feel that rapid pulsing under your foot? That's ABS working. It prevents the wheels from locking up and turning the car into a sled, helping you stay in control during emergencies. Then there's brake fade. Imagine sprinting full speed, then trying to do it again immediately. Your legs feel weaker. Brakes are the same. When they get too hot, they lose stopping power. That's why performance cars use ventilated disc brakes, which cool faster. Speaking of brake types, most modern cars use discs where pads clamp onto a rotor to slow you down. But some cheaper or older cars still use drum brakes on the rear. They're cheaper, but they heat up faster and don't stop as well. Now let's talk handling. Ever seen dashboard lights for traction control or stability control and wondered what they mean? Here's the deal. Traction control stops your wheels from spinning too much when you accelerate on slippery surfaces. If you've ever floored it on wet pavement and felt the car hesitate, that was traction control stepping in. Stability control goes a step further. If the car starts to skid, it applies brakes to individual wheels to pull you back in line. It's like an invisible safety net that's been mandatory in US cars since 2012. So brakes stop you, traction control keeps you from spinning your wheels, and stability control keeps the car pointed where you want it. Together, they make modern cars far safer than older ones. Now, let's move on to something every driver cares about: fuel efficiency. Gas isn't cheap, and how you drive can make a huge difference. The key number here is MPG, miles per gallon. That's how far your car goes on a gallon of gas. But those official sticker numbers you see at the dealership, they're tested under perfect conditions. Flat roads, no AC, no traffic. In the real world, your MPG depends on your habits. Want to save fuel? 3 simple tips. First, go easy on the gas. Flooring it at every green light looks fun but burns fuel fast. Second, watch your speed. Most cars are most efficient between 50 and 60 miles per hour. Go faster and you're just burning extra fuel. Third, check your tire pressure. Low tires create resistance, forcing your engine to work harder. And while you're at it, get rid of unnecessary weight in the trunk. Carrying junk costs fuel. So with smarter driving, you can stretch your gas money without spending a dime on upgrades. But saving fuel is only half the battle. The real secret to keeping a car alive is basic maintenance. And don't worry, it's not complicated. Maintenance is what separates cars that run for decades from cars that die young. And the best part, most of it is simple. Start with oil changes. Engine oil is like blood for your car. Over time, it gets dirty and loses its ability to protect the engine. Stick to your owner's manual, usually every 5,000 to 7,500 miles, and your engine will stay healthy. Skip it and you're asking for expensive repairs down the road. Next, air filters. A clogged filter is like trying to breathe through a straw. Your engine needs clean air to mix with fuel. Replacing an air filter is cheap and it pays off with better performance and fuel economy. Then there are brake pads. Worn out pads don't just squeak, they reduce stopping power, and waiting too long can damage the rotors, making repairs far more expensive. If your car makes grinding or squealing noises when you brake, don't ignore it. Another critical one, the battery. A dead battery always seems to strike at the worst possible moment. Most last 3 to 5 years. If yours is older, get it tested and replace it before it strands you. Of course, there's also tire care. Rotate your tires regularly, keep them inflated, and check tread depth. Tires are the only part of the car that actually touch the road. Skimping here is never worth it. A car is a machine, but it's also a long-term investment. Understanding the basics, what those engine numbers mean, how transmissions work, why drivetrains differ, and how safety systems protect you, gives you confidence. Add simple maintenance on top, and you'll not only save money, but also avoid the stress of breakdowns. Think about it, cars don't have to be mysterious. Horsepower, torque, ABS, traction control, MPG. These aren't just complicated words. They're tools to help you understand how your car works and how to take care of it. And there are car body types. A sedan is the classic car most people think of. 4 doors, a separate trunk designed to seat families comfortably. A coupe is like a sportier version of a sedan, usually with 2 doors and a sleek roofline. SUVs are bigger, taller, and great for families or people who need more cargo space. Then you have hatchbacks, which are smaller cars with a rear door that opens up with the window, giving easy access to the trunk. Pickup trucks are built to haul. Beds in the back for carrying loads, trailers, or equipment. There are wagons, which are like stretched sedans with extra cargo room, but not as bulky as SUVs. And of course, at the extreme end, there are supercars and hypercars, machines built for crazy speeds and performance. So next time someone calls every SUV a Jeep or thinks every sporty car is a coupe, you'll know the difference. If this video helped clear up the confusion, hit that like button, share it with someone, and subscribe for more easy to understand car guides. Until next time, drive safe, take care of your car, and keep an eye out for our next informative video.